So yeah, this is my plan. This is my trading plan. So we saw that overall on the higher time frame we are bearish. Why am I saying we are bearish on the overall higher time frame? We made this high and then we failed to break that high, and we made a low and we made a high that failed to break the other high, and then the cycle continued. So we had a series of lower highs and lower lows. As you can see, we had a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. But here you can say we had a market structure shift. We can, but I'll just follow my trading plan. So we notice going to just had a market structure shift on our higher time frame. So let's go to the smaller time frame. And on the smaller time frame, these two lines you see are the first are the is the range of the first 50 minutes candle of the New York opening. So this is the high of the candle, this is the low of the candle, and I'm waiting for a breakout to either side of the range. A breakout and retest. So while we are at it, let's just use this time to do something useful. Some of you are new to forex or trading. So in trading we have bullish movement and bearish movement. So a bullish movement is a movement that is made up by a series of candles that are going up, and in this case, candles that are going up are represented by the blue candles or the blue bars, and the bearish movement is a series of candles that are going down and represented in this case by the gray candles. This is the bullish movement, this is the bearish movement. And a bullish movement makes up something that we call an uptrend, which is a series of higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. This is an uptrend, and this is a swing low, this is a swing high, this is a higher low. Why is this the higher low? Because this low is higher than the swing low, and this high, why is it a higher high? Because this high is higher than this high, and then the cycle continues. Then in case of a bearish market, we have something we call lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, and then the cycle continues. This is a swing low, this is a swing high, and this is a lower low. Why is this low and the lower low? Because this low is lower than the previous low. Why is this the lower high? Because this high is lower than the previous high. Then the cycle continues. Okay, we're still waiting for the system to play out. And during the market movement, we have something that is called a breakout structure. It is when you have the breakout, it is when you have a breakout on the structure to the direction of the trend. It's when the structure is broken into the direction of the trend. So overall, we know that we have a bullish structure on this blue pattern I just showed you. So what happened This is a movement that broke the previous structure, that is, was the high and low. And when a high is broken, you have a break of structure to the direction of the trend. So this line will represent where the structure was broken. You draw this line where the structure was broken. Let me do something like this. Some of you all know it as BOS, but yeah, it's break of structure. And then same thing here. This movement that broke the structure was also broken by another movement, which is this movement. It broke this movement, which means it broke structure. So this level also represents the level where the previous structure was broken. Okay, we're still in the right direction. And then you can also find breakout structures on a bearish market. How so? Like this. A breakout structure is a breakout into the direction of the trend. We have already established that this pattern represents a downtrend market. So you see that you have a swing low and a swing high, and then you have a lower low and a lower high. You see that this movement broke the previous swing low, which means it broke structure. So this level represents where the structure was broken. This is where you find a break of structure, a breakout into the direction of the trend. This movement also was broken. This movement also broke the previous movement. So in this level, you find a break of structure. This movement broke this movement. So, and then you'll find out that this movement keep breaking each other. They keep breaking each other structures. As you can see, this movement was broken by this movement. So you have a break of structure here again. I hope it makes sense, and I hope I'm not confusing anyone. So let's remove these movements and let's leave it on just one movement. So you have a break of structure. Why? Because the previous movement, which is a high and a low, were broken, which is a low and a high were broken, a low and a high were broken, and so forth. The cycle continues. Okay, we are still on the right direction. Okay, also you can, there's something in trading that is called a change of character or a market structure shift. It is when you have a breakout into the opposite direction of the initial trend. What do I mean by that? Okay, in case of a bullish market, you have a market structure shift or a change of character when you have a breakout into the downtrend or the downside. It is when you have a bearish breakout in an uptrend, that is where you find your market structure shift. What do I mean by that, and how can you see it? This is what I mean. This breakout is not going up, it is going down, which means it is not a break of structure, and this breakout is known as it broke the low that was responsible for the higher high. So this will be known as the market structure shift or the change of character, whatever you want to call it. It is where market changes the trend or changes structure. See, this is the market structure shift in case of the bullish scenario. So the red one represents the bearish movement that changed the structure from this bullish movement. As you can see, we're bullish because we had higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And then instead of making a higher low and going up, what did we do? We broke the low. And when we break a low, you know that the market is changing structure. When we broke and close below and then retest, you know that the market has successfully changed structure. And then you can anticipate trades into the opposite direction. And then let's explain market structure shift or change of character in a bearish movement. In case of a downtrend, how can you anticipate or how can you see a market structure shift? I'll just leave it like this. This was the high responsible for the low. This high, this one I'm busy, this one that I'm busy circling or showing you. This is where the market changed structure. The initial trend was bearish. The initial trend was bearish. And what do I mean by that? We are on a downtrend. We're making a series of lower lows and lower highs. Instead of making another lower high and then make a lower low, we made a high that broke the previous high. When a high is broken, the market is establishing a bullish movement, which means we went from the bearish movement to a bullish movement. So that means we changed movements or we changed structures. So that's when you find your market structure shift, your change of character, and it is where you start looking for buys after a bearish market. Simple as that. Simple as that. So let's just wait for my setup now so that I can show you how I trade. Uh, this thing takes time, but let's hope it will be worth it.